10 things about applying for an employer-sponsored RSMS subclass 187 visa. The RSMS is the most common employer-sponsored application for permanent residency in regional areas of Australia. I'm going to mention 10 key points about the RSMS. Much more detail on each point can be found at the news page of my website. If you find this video useful, then hit the subscribe button for more videos. Number 1. Where are the regional areas in Australia? The regional areas of Australia include all parts of Australia except for Brisbane, Gold Coast, Newcastle, Sydney, Wollongong and Melbourne. So you can do an RSMS visa for all of Western Australia including Perth, all of South Australia including Adelaide, all of the Northern Territory including Darwin, all of Tasmania including Hobart and Launceston, all of the ACT including Canberra, large parts of Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria. If the place you want to do an employer-sponsored visa for PR is not in a regional area, then you need to do an ENS subclass 186. Number 2. There are 3 streams to the RSMS: Direct Entry, Temporary Transition and Agreement. Temporary Residence Transition Stream. This stream is available for temporary 457 visa holders who have worked for the sponsoring employer for at least 2 years. Direct Entry Stream. This is for people that want to apply for an RSMS visa that have never or only briefly worked in Australia, or hold a subclass 457 visa but do not qualify under the Temporary Residence Transition Stream, or are applying directly from outside Australia. The Agreement Stream. This stream is applicable if you are being sponsored by an employer through a tailored or negotiated labour agreement. The age, skills and English requirements will be stated in the labour agreement. Number 3. There must be an Australian employer offering a skilled position on the relevant list. It is vital for this type of application that there is an Australian employer that is willing to engage in the RSMS visa process. I often get people approaching me saying, "I'm ready to do an RSMS, all I need is an employer." The employer is a vital part of the process. There are some industries where the need of the employer for skilled workers are greater and for which I do many RSMSs. Common industries include the hospitality industry, for positions including cooks, chefs and hotel managers, and IT related roles for all types of industries for positions including software engineer and programmer, developer and many more. At Work Visa Lawyers, we can help with the visa process, but we do not do the recruitment, and finding an employer or an employee is up to you. So what occupations are acceptable? This depends on which stream of the RSMS. For the Temporary Residence Transition Stream, you will need to refer to the Consolidated Skilled Occupation List, the CSOL. The nominated occupations for the RSMS subclass 187 visa must have the same 4-digit occupation unit group code as the occupation being carried out by the employee. For the Direct Entry Stream, you will need to refer to the Special Legislative Instrument, which provides the list. The occupations are specified in the legislative instrument. You will also need to seek Regional Certifying Body Approval, RCB, before being able to nominate the position. More details about the RCB are explained below. For the Labour Agreement Stream, you will need to check if the agreement is in place for the occupation being nominated. The occupation must have a labour agreement in place to be suitable for nomination. If you need help with the position being nominated, please seek the help and advice from Work Visa Lawyers. Number 4. RSMS Direct Entry requirements for the visa applicant. I will now summarise the core requirements for the visa applicant in relation to English, skills and age. For English, the visa applicant must have what is described as competent English. This is commonly understood to be IELTS All 6, but there are now 5 acceptable English tests. The level of English is also met by holding a valid passport issued by the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Canada, New Zealand, or the Republic of Ireland, and evidence that you are a citizen of that country. There are some exemptions to the requirements for those earning a very high salary or for very limited number of occupations. The visa applicant must have the skills required for the nominated position. The way to prove the skills varies according to the ANSCO skill level. If the applicant is going for a trade level position and has skills and qualifications from outside of Australia, then a skills assessment will be necessary. If there are registration requirements, such as medical professions, then applicants must have full Australian registration. The registration requirement means that for certain occupations, it's common for the candidate to do a 457 visa first, then get the registration, and then go for PR through the RSMS. There are some limited exemptions to the skills requirements. The main age requirement is for the applicant to be under the age of 50. There are limited exemptions. Number 5, RSMS Direct Entry requirements for the employer, which include offering a 2-year position and achieving positive RCB advice. The employer must offer a position which is available for at least 2 years from the time the visa is granted. As previously mentioned, the skill position must be on the relevant list. The direct entry pathway requires you apply to the regional certifying body. The RCB requirements vary greatly, so it is important to consider the requirements for RCB advice. Requirements for the RCB often include advertising the position to show that it could not be filled by an Australian citizen or permanent resident, providing information on why the position is needed by the Australian business. Some RCBs require a fee. If you are not successful with the RCB, then it is likely that the Department of Immigration and Border Protection will refuse your nomination application. Number 6, advantages of the RSMS Direct Entry visa. It is not linked to the TSMT and the RSMS list is longer. For the direct entry, the pay rate is not set at the TSMT. This means that some positions that have a market salary of below $53,900 can get paid that. For example, a trade level position may be at approximately $43,000 according to the award. There is access to more occupations on the RSMS Direct Entry list than on the CSOL list. For example, the occupation of Hotel Service Manager is on the RSMS Direct Entry list, and it is a lower level management position which is great for hotels. Some employers like the RSMS for the reason that it does not have the 457 temporary work visa obligations. Employers often also like the idea that the employee has Australian permanent residency straight away, with better access to healthcare through Medicare and education for family members. Number 7, requirements for the RSMS Temporary Transition for 457 visa holders. The key requirements include the 457 visa applicant must have held the 457 with the same employer for 2 of the last 3 years. There are some limited exemptions to this. The employer must have paid the correct salary and related super and taxes for the nominated position. The employer must be able to demonstrate that they have met the training benchmarks requirements. This is that they have provided training to an Australian citizen or permanent resident employee, or that they've made a contribution to the relevant industry training fund. Number 8, there are some advantages to the RSMS Temporary Transition pathway. The required English level for this pathway is vocational English. This means you have achieved a score of at least 5 in each of the 4 components of the IELTS test, or you have achieved a test score of at least 36 in each of the 4 test components in a Pearson's PTE English. Another advantage is that the applicant does not need to prove their skills if they have been in the position for 2 years. So no need for a skills assessment or supplying Australian qualifications and experience. The Temporary Transition RSMS has access to a health waiver for the visa applicant and their family. This can be a big advantage if a member of the family has a medical condition that might lead to a refusal without a waiver. However, access to the health waiver does not mean it is always exercised. Number 9, obligations to be met for the RSMS visa for both employer and employee. The Australian Government has recently passed new legislation to establish a criminal and civil penalty regime to make it unlawful for a person to give or receive a benefit in return for a migration outcome. This is in relation to certain skilled work visas, including the 457 and RSMS. The Department of Immigration and Border Protection has also enabled visa cancellation to be considered where the visa holder has engaged in such conduct. There is also a power under the Migration Act to cancel an RSMS visa following the grant of a visa in the certain following events. Number 1. If the visa applicant does not commence employment within 6 months. Number 2. If the applicant does not make a genuine effort to fulfil the 2 years of employment. Number 10. Do I need help to do an RSMS visa? The RSMS 187 process is complicated and the requirements are regularly changed by the Australian Government. In 2014, 73.8% of RSMS visa applications were lodged by registered migration agents. This is based on figures from January to March 2014. In Australia, migration agents must be registered with the Office of the MARA. If you choose to use a migration agent, you should use a registered migration agent. Registration gives you protection and helps to ensure the people working for you know the laws and standards. I'm a lawyer and a registered migration agent with over 10 years of experience in employer-sponsored visas, including the RSMS. If you require assistance with an RSMS visa, Work Visa Lawyers has a team of professionals, including migration lawyers and agents, that can help you. Thanks for watching 10 things about applying for an employer-sponsored RSMS subclass 187 visa. Hit the subscribe button for future information on Australian visas. You can also keep up with the latest immigration news through our Facebook, Twitter and our website. Whether you're an employer or an applicant, we look forward to helping you with your Australian visa needs.